Round one. Fight.
Heroes never die.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
I used to be an adventurer like you. Then I took an arrow in the knee.
Power, sex, power. They both come down to one thing.
Hungry gamers.
Hello, and welcome, boys and girls, to the 162nd episode of the Hungry Gamers podcast. We are powered by 8bit.net and the legends at Audio Technica. I'm your extremely humble host, Brendan White. You can find me just about everywhere at Brendan 8bit. And on today's episode, we have a menu cram full of video game and geek culture goodness, covering such topics as Ninja jumping over to Mixer, E3 media leaks, COD Modern Warfare 2 beta announcements, plus lots more. Now, joining me today for episode 162 are two people I'd gladly take into a hot dog eating contest. Stars of the upcoming buddy cop sitcom Heart and Dreams, Miss Ali Hart and Saleem Abraham. Find them collectively at We Are 8bit or individually at Miss Ali Hart and at Saleem TD. How you doing this morning, you sexy legends?
I'm doing good. That was just a weird intro. Like, I'll take him to a hot dog eating competition. I'm like, what? And then you start talking about a buddy cop sitcom where Heart and Dreams I like, but hot dog eating contest. Hello.
I just got faith, you know. I know we'd support each other, we'd rise each other up in this Wienerathon. I've seen many professional eaters give it a crack, and I think we could perform pretty well, at least middle of the pack. I don't think we're a chance of winning, but I think we'd walk out of there with our heads held high.
The secret technique is to not chew, but just swallow whole the wieners.
It really is gross too, because I watched, this was on like ESPN the other day, and what they do now is they dip the hot dog in water, so it sort of breaks up the bun a little bit more, and they can just sort of throat it straight away. So
that's like a pigeon technique.
Yeah, the pelican style. But Heart and Dreams, I'm all about that. I'd watch that. That's probably going to come on around 8:30, I reckon. It's sort of be light-hearted comedy, but with some innuendo in there as well, so it can't be like that 7 o'clock home and away time slot, but sort of when the kiddies are going to bed, Heart and Dreams ticks on.
I want to see like a Miami Vice porn star like mustache on Heart over there.
Oh, I was gonna ask, did you want that on me? Like, was I taking that responsibility? All right, I'll start working on it now. I'll get it going. Keep rushing. How you going, Brendan?
God. I'm doing good. I'm just envisioning you with a big mustache now, and that's quite the sight I didn't expect to think about today.
It will work. It will work. And then I'll have I'll be able to do like that thinking pose where you just like the thumb and the index
sort of
just
twist the ends, play with it when you're deep in thought. But I'm doing good. Someone that's not doing so good in the household is the older pug Chester. Something that I didn't realize is possible is dogs can get the flu.
Absolutely.
So Chester has got the flu. He's coughing, he's wheezing, and he sneezes, and he's got almost like toddler-like boogers that sort of run now down when he sneezes, out of his little nostrils, down his lips. So I actually have to get a tissue and wipe his nose when he sneezes because he can't even lick them off. They're that thick.
Does he look up at you as though he has absolutely no idea what's going on? He has
a little bit.
He has such a clueless expression where his eyes are just wide open, and it's like he's seeing things for the first time every time.
Yeah, I think he's sort of a bit more wise to what's happening now, and he sort of looks at me a little bit disappointed in himself. Like, he'll sneeze and look at me with these snots, and he's like, "Dad, I'm sorry, I can't even lick these and eat them. Please come wipe my face because I'm a mess." Like, he's just a hot mess. He's fallen apart, the old 7-year-old pug, but taking him to the vet, get him on some antibiotics, and he'll be right as rain.
Dogs have colds. That's crazy. Like,
yeah.
Explain that my dog has a cut grass allergy. Like, she's allergic to cut grass. So I don't know how that even happens to a dog. Like, that's where they belong, like on grass. But no, mine gets a little red rash on her belly.
Yeah, I guess just like humans, different skin types and sensitivities and allergies, and there's something that's going to get you, no matter if you're on 2 or 4 feet, apparently. So Cheddar, we love you, but please stop sneezing because I'm sick of blowing your nose. It's so strange.
Rest up, sweet prince. Rest up.
Sweet potato.
Sweet potato. Yeah.
Yeah, so it has been a hot minute since we've had the dream team all back together in the one place.
I don't appreciate that we call it the dream team.
It's good to have all three of us here. Yes,
Dream in the
we are
team.
back.
Dream in the team.
Dream in the team. But Dreamer, what have you been doing? What's been happening the last couple of weeks? You been playing anything of note? Watching anything?
I have. I'm gonna go in and bat for Lion King for a moment. I saw it yesterday. It's not that bad.
Thank you.
You guys savaged it when we were talking about it last weekend. But I think that it's weird because the animation, like you're right, Brendan. I think you said like the animals just can't emote the same way. They don't have the same like emotion in their expressions, and so it's a lot of the things just fall flat. A lot of the lines seem to fall flat. A lot of James Earl Jones's lines also seem to be flat. I'll give you that.
Yep.
But it's still like, I think if you were a kid and you hadn't seen the first one, you'd still like this movie. I didn't cry at the Mufasa death scene though, which as a noted crier, as a very quick to cry person, I think that's indicative of something wrong in the film.
Do you think because you knew it was coming, like it wasn't as... Or do you still cry if you watch the animated version of The Lion King? Would you cry when Mufasa gets tossed by Scar again?
I think I cried when that happened.
Sorry?
I don't think I cried in the original. I don't think I cried when Mufasa died.
I sometimes put it on just to cry.
Oh, that's deep.
Just to feel something.
Yeah, just to feel something. No, but it's all right. It's not a horrible film. But it makes me want to rewatch the original again because I want to see if I still love that. It misses a lot of good things, but you said it last week, Ali, it misses one of the best songs. I can't remember which song that was. Which one?
Be prepared.
It's in there. It's just different.
It's not a song. He starts talking.
I liked it.
The music starts in the background, and then he just sings, and then he does kind of a bit of a operatic. Nah.
I thought it was okay.
Yeah, and it was like about a third as long.
Be Prepared is up there with one of my favorite songs from Disney.
You see all the dumb hyenas marching.
That little bit of symbolism's like really great. I guess they just couldn't do that again, right?
I'll call out now that I am seeing Hobbs and Shaw today. And I expect that one of you have seen this as well so that we can discuss it next week.
Okay, I'll make time to go watch it this week.
Yeah, I'll try and see
it looks
too.
insane.
That's so stupid.
Insane.
That's so stupid.
Yeah. I'm pretty pumped. Aside from Lion King, and just I'll call it like my business as usual gaming. I picked up Monster Hunter World very recently.
This took me by surprise when I saw this in the chat pop up. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're only 18 months too late or whatever, but...
well, didn't they have any DLC or something? Didn't something happen or something dropped recently for Monster Hunter?
Something's coming. I think something's coming. I think it's called Iceborne.
Yeah.
I believe.
It actually looks all right. Like, from the trailers, it looks pretty interesting, that bit of DLC. And the Monster Hunter purists we know, like, Natoli and Paul from the Inconsolables, for example, who are all about that life, are really, really excited for getting on that.
I really wanted to play this game 18 months ago, Brendan, in January of 2018 when it did first come out. And for, whether it was because I was money poor or time poor, I just didn't end up picking it up. And then I remember 3 weeks after it was released, basically everyone had finished up with it.
Yep.
And then that just killed it for me. But it still shows up on my Steam store as a recommended game. It shows up like regularly, and there seems to be people playing it. So I decided to give it a whirl. For anyone who hasn't ever played this game or any other Monster Hunter game, the main thrust of the game is essentially you craft gear, you go out and kill monsters and farm their bones and feathers and skins and hides and other things in the environment to craft stronger gear to fight stronger monsters. It's just one game loop, one very big game loop. I actually don't hate it at the moment. I like it. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot at the moment. I'm quite early on. Obviously, I think I've only killed 4 or 5 monsters, so nothing to like write home about. Although I do have some pretty sweet bone armor now, which I like the look of.
The bone armor does look pretty good.
Yeah. it seems to be fun, but there is a really detailed crafting system, which is very clear because you have a ridiculous number of weapons that you have access to. All of those weapons can be upgraded. They can also be, I'll say, customized in a way to have elemental affinities. Your gear can have elemental resistances. And I think eventually you find yourself fighting monsters where you need to be very strategic in the equipment that you bring into the battle. Now, I'm not at the point yet where that matters too much. I've just been rolling around with a Buster Sword, with a Proto Axe, and with a bow and arrow. I wasn't a big fan of the Buster Sword. I wasn't a big fan of the Proto Axe. I don't like these big, massive, like, sword things that are just super slow. The bow and arrow seems fun, but also quite easy to use because I just sit there popping shots off at little raptors and things. I also don't like that you can't seem to get any verticality on the bow. Is that a thing, or am I just
pretty much just straight shots? TikToked? Really, it's just
it's straightforward.
I haven't played with it in massive details because, as I said, it's very much just a spammable weapon and ability. So maybe there is something down the line in the skill tree or something like that. But yeah, nah.
But it's a beautiful game. It's a really lovely game. You're effectively in this lush jungle land. I'm sure that probably changes and you'll go to a different kind of environment eventually. But at the moment, I'm in sort of like a rainforesty kind of place. The game does well to not linger too long in places. Like if you're trying to get from A to B, it'll just move you fast travel real quick from A to B, and you can start your quest right away. So that's good.
How's your little Palico?
My Palico,
you got him kitted out or her kitted out?
I try and spend as little time on the Palico as I can. I don't like that I have to have a Palico.
Oh.
I'm not a big cat person in general, but I gave it the evil eyes. You know how there's one where you can give it like really crazy eyes, and then it still looks friendly somehow. Like when it like starts talking, it smiles and its eyes light up. And anyway.
Have you loved the meal experiences back at the home, like at the hub world, where you can go and there's like the Palico chefs and they cook you the super meal to get your buffs before you go out on your hunts?
I haven't even touched that. Okay. If I'm being super honest, because I know who you're talking about, the Palico chef up in the canteen, but like I haven't talked to him because I don't want to talk to the Palicos. Don't trust them. But the other thing as well is that, again, like I haven't been challenged enough in a quest where I just feel like I need to start thinking about these things. But it's, and again, I'm only on my like 5th or 6th quest at the moment. Like it's super early for me. I'm waiting for the game to ramp up in difficulty and all of this to become relevant.
And you're on PC, right?
Yeah, on PC. I've got it on PC. I'm looking for more hunters, man. So if you play, hit your boy up. And we'll go on a hunt together and slay some dragons and shit.
Yeah. It's good fun, but it's certainly, that game lives and dies off playing like the social aspects, like playing with other people. Riding solo, it wears pretty thin pretty quick.
But you'll probably see an increase coming soon with that new content. So
yeah, I'm gonna look up when that's dropping. But I'm enjoying it. I'm glad I've got it too, just in case, like, you know, when Iceborne drops or if things happen in the future, just in case, you know, just in case I've got the game now.
How much does it cost you on PC at this time of day?
Don't ask me that question, bro.
Oh, no.
It cost me a dumb amount of money for a game as old
$99.95.
It cost me $84 Australian. Yeah. But here's the thing. I was in this mood where I was like, I really just want to sink my teeth into something. I want a game where I can just sit down and fucking and invest. I want to invest in something. I don't have a dog. I don't have a girlfriend. I need to invest in something.
Do you have
You
a
should have
Switch?
invested in Elder Scrolls Online, because then you could have had a pet dog and a girlfriend.
I was kicking myself that I didn't get Elder Scrolls Online. Like an hour after I purchased Monster Hunter World, because I was thinking to myself, maybe I can like refund this on Steam.
You can.
They have a refund policy, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But don't
Cannot
play it
find
for more than...
anywhere. 2 hours.
Is it 2 hours?
I'm pretty sure it's 2 hours.
And you've probably just rolled over that 2 hour mark.
Currently sitting on 37.
I left the game on the title screen for like 5 hours yesterday as I was going out. So yeah, I probably did my nut on that. But let me just see how much hours I've put into it, and we can talk refund.
If you had a Switch, I would be really surprised because I've been watching like playthrough of Fire Emblem Three Houses, and that because of the way it's like strategic combat and then like boosting up stats of your like fighters. I thought that would be something you'd be interested in.
Three Houses.
Yeah, and Fire Emblem.
I played Fire Emblem. I played the last main series title that came out in 2016. Maybe it's not the last one, but it came out. Yeah, it's Legends, I think, and it's like two families against each other, two warring families. I didn't fucking love it. I just find, I don't know. Fire Emblem's not really for me, I don't think.
Fair enough. I was just curious.
Yeah.
I know it's not for me either because it's got the whole strategic fighting bullshit in there. The dating and fucking romancing stuff is all me, but the actual fighting stuff ain't.
Not your
the
jam.
important stuff. Yeah, not for me. It's cute though.
I played 3 hours of Monster Hunter World. Sorry.
Oh no, you could try and put a refund.
I like how we're ending my review of Monster Hunter World with me trying to refund
to get a refund.
Yeah, it started with like, I can't wait for the new DLC to, I want my money back.
If anyone wants to play with me, jump on.
I really like it. I might just buy Elder Scrolls Online separately. But with Elder Scrolls Online, do I need to buy every one of the base games and the expansions, or do you just buy
If you buy the latest elsewhere, you get pretty much all the previous expansions plus the base game.
Oh, so
that's
you just
probably
buy
the best
elsewhere.
way to go. Yep.
Oh, well, let me look at this right now.
But you got to buy that through the Elder Scrolls Online store or through Bethesda. You can't buy it through Steam.
So elsewhere costs $60, and then so on ElderScrollsOnline.com it'll cost me like 110, no doubt.
Nah, I think it's 75, 80, something like that.
Man. I've just spending so much money on these games. I guarantee I'll do the same thing with elsewhere that I'll do with Monster Hunter World, which is forget about it in a week.
Nah, you can come raid. You can come do some dungeons with me.
Here's the thing: how long will you play this game for? If I buy this fucking thing,
I'm in. I just bought a big ass mansion. I spent like $60 worth of real money to buy a giant house in this game and furnish the fucking thing.
I want to know your raiding nights. I want a fixed schedule. I want a calendar.
Okay.
A calendar.
We can work this out offline.
Because if I'm gonna buy this game, if I'm gonna spend $165 on RPGs that I know I'm not gonna love, $80 this week already. I just want to know I'm getting my money's worth somewhere.
It's okay. You can sleep on a couch in Brendan's like $60 mansion.
Yeah. You can come live in my massive multi-rise brick townhouse right in the heart of town. Got it kitted out, redecorated the kitchen and the dining hall the other day. All about that life.
I've talked way too long. I'm sorry, guys. I just wanted you to know that I do play games.
It's fine. I'm just glad to hear that Brendan spent $60 on a fake house in the game, and then he told us about decorating the kitchen.
Sorry, hold on. Wait, I missed that. Did you spend real money on this fucking thing?
Yeah.
Did you spend real money on this thing?
Yeah, I did.
Look at your guilty little face. You have a sick pug.
Yeah,
you have a dog. You have a dog.
That's why he's not healed right now, because I waste his antibiotics money on a digital brick house.
Oh shit, son! You're a fiend, eh?
Yeah, I want
to play the game.
I need
just
more
to check
self-control.
out.
I need more self-control sometimes. It really does get out of hand with these video games.
Ooh.
No shit.
While I realign my chakras, Miss Hart, tell me about this Mega Mall story you're playing on the Switch.
Oh, okay. This is an accident, kind of. So after talking about Doom being on the Switch, I was like, hell yeah, I'll jump on that. And then I saw it was in the sales section, and then this stupid Mega Mall story it was on sale. I'm like, what?
I can see how you got them confused.
It was on sale, and I was like, but it had a demo. It had a demo. I'm like, ooh, demo, because I'm a tight ass. So I started playing the demo, and I got really involved. And because I got so into this stupid game, I bought it forgot about Doom. That's out the window. And it's a stupid game. Anyone that kind of grew up on Newgrounds, like, so the website Newgrounds, where it had like Flash animation as well as Flash, like, you know, games. It's honestly something I probably could have played online for free. It's just simply organizing and looking after a mall and making sure you cater to all your freaking patrons' needs and everything. It's a stupid freaking game. I have not put this fucking game down since I've bought it. I can't even tell you how many hours I've wasted and how much I've ignored on like basic life needs just because I'm addicted to this stupid game. It is bad.
Damn.
It is absolutely bad.
And it's been out for a while. Like, I was doing a bit of a read-up. It came out in 2011 on the old iOS way back when, and now it's on the Switch, and it's still making money.
So I fell victim to the thing that I've warned everyone about buying a game on the Switch is like, you know, make sure you check. It's probably free on, you know, on a mobile phone or on Steam, or it's probably cheaper and everything. And then this dumbass buys it because I got addicted to the friggin' mall that I made.
How much did it cost you on the Switch?
$15.
Yeah. See, we are poster children for
bad purchases.
silly video game purchases right now. All three of us.
All three of us. All three of us right now.
Mine's pretty bad though, because there is no like content in this game, yet my addiction is stupidly strong. And once I get to the end game, that's it. Like, there's no replayability. What, I reorganize? I put the shoe shop next to the grocery store next time? Like, what the fuck? Like, that's not the replayability. I'm addicted, though. I have a chicken that shops in my mall now. Like, you know, like...
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's a stupid
game. What
game.
does it typically buy?
It's really addicted to bowling.
Oh.
So I don't
know how it would fit its feathers in those 3 holes to bowl a ball down the lane, but... Power to
them. And then I have a bunch of alcoholics who come to my mall, get off the train, go have a drink, and then go home. But yeah, that's the addiction of this game. It's my stupid love for like organization and meeting like quotas and like budgets and all this sort of stupid stuff. So I'll try and do next week.
Are you a Papers, Please person?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know what else I started playing this week? Sorry to I know you want to jump in a sec there, Big Dog, but Stardew Valley.
Hello.
Oh. Yeah.
Really?
On what platform?
Oh
on
my
what?
God.
Let me know, because I own it on 2 things so far.
I feel like we're in a video game like AA meeting right now, sharing all our pains.
I found it kind of therapeutic this time. I liked it.
Yes.
I came home from a pretty hard day. I didn't have any cigarettes around, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking do this through video games, through the power of VG.
There's a beautiful sense of self-accomplishment that you can get out of these stupid video games that you can't get out of life. And it's probably bad and dangerous and probably something that you need to focus on, like me personally. But I don't care. The reward factor is really good in these kind of games. I do good, and I do good well.
Gold stars.
Oh, man.
Oh, God.
But Mega Mall's story, 85 out of 100 on Metacritic. So you can see the hype, and I'm looking at like quotes, and it like the people are saying, you know, it's well worth the asking price, but buyer beware, it can have a profound effect on productivity and one's social life.
Can confirm. It's so stupid, but I love it. But what are you playing Stardew Valley on? PC? Switch?
I'm playing it on PC. I have it on Steam at the moment.
I've got it on Steam as well.
Well, let's be Steam companions. Is that a thing? Let's get a little steamy.
Let's get steamy on hashtag let's get steamy.
Oh my God,
It does
this
have
episode is
multiplayer.
a beautiful hot mess.
It does have multiplayer, so that should be interesting. Yes, I would like to work on a farm and see how it goes with you, Sam.
Do you need to get any DLC to activate the multiplayer mode?
I don't think so. No.
It was just via an update.
I know NATO's big on this too, right?
Oh, don't ask him. He has bad taste in women.
Oh. Hopefully Kaz doesn't listen to this episode.
I meant on the game. Jesus. I meant on the game. He criticized me because he criticized me because of my pick. So he'll go into this whole thing about who you should date and who you should blah, blah, blah. Yes, NATO, if you do hear this, I
already worked it out. The bar wench.
Who?
The bartender.
Nice. Wait.
Whoever that is.
Obviously not the
bar
one that's
wench,
taken.
is that fair?
Isn't that Keith?
Yeah, I didn't worry. I'm not gender specific here.
I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
Can't look in the Steam right now.
Well, but yeah, so I'm going to stop talking about Mega Mall's story and probably all my issues that I have in life. Brendan, what have you been playing?
I've been taking out my life issues via way of slaying countless amounts of Nazis in Wolfenstein Youngblood, the latest iteration in the BJ Blazkowicz fabled franchise. In this one, it's set about 20 years after New Colossus, and you take on the role of either Jess or Sophie, his twin daughters, because BJ has he's disappeared, gone somewhere into occupied, war-torn France, and you are, taking up the Blazkowicz mantle and going in and slaying Germans and trying to find your dad. So you can play solo or you can play co-op, which is pretty cool. So Rach and I have been rolling around together, and the cool thing with this game regarding the co-op is you can buy I can't remember the edition that they call it, but it was only about $75, but you get a free buddy pass. So you can buy the copy of the game once, but someone else can jump onto Steam, download the buddy pass equivalent off Steam, and they can jump on and play with you anytime for free. And if you're done playing with them, like, you can have 10 different friends download this buddy pass, and they can all jump on and play with you, not all together, but, consecutively you could jump on. So I could jump on and play with you right now, Ellie. Once we finish, Dream can boot up his buddy pass. I can link with him, and I can play with him as well. So it's really cool in that regard, where buy one copy, potentially have infinite copies for you and your friends if you wanted to roll out with them at different times. So I think that's a really classy move from Bethesda,
Seems
especially after, Canvas Bag Gate and what have you. So it's nice to see them win a few brownie points, at least back for me. I think that's really cool. But anyone that's played a Wolfenstein game know what it's about. It's first person, visceral combat, mowing down countless waves of German Nazi scum as you just go from point A to point B. Guns vary in size, guns vary in devastation. Yeah, I've been enjoying it. I'm not enjoying the grind in this game. Okay. So it's a level-based structure. So you start obviously as level 1 and you work your way through. You get new abilities. You can use in-game currency to level up your weapons and sort of add various attachments and things in-game. So there is a pretty hefty grind on it, and there is a lot of rinse and repeat. I think there's 7 main hubs in the game, and you can sort of just drop in there and do random missions. So it can be kill a key German sort of council member, go attach a bomb to this, go grab this item, go find this data that we can use to breach a compound and things. So it is very much rinse and repeat. It feels like just get from point A to point B, kill somebody or grab an item, reset, go to the next area, do the same type of thing. So it can get a little bit long in the tooth in that regard. And the bullet sponginess of the enemies is fucking unbearable sometimes. Like, you get some pretty high-powered guns in this game, and you shoot some of these big enemies sometimes, and it's like they laugh at you. Like, the amount of time it takes to wear down some of these enemies is just ridiculous. And then they can just, like, one-tap you even if you're 200 health, 200 armor, or whatever else. So it can sort of get a bit sort of painful in that regard. But you do have, like, a shared life system. So when you jump into these levels, you've got 3 shared lives. So if you get downed, your squad mate can pick you up. But if you don't get picked up, you've got 3 lives. And once they get lost between the two of you, it's game over. You got to start it all again. So you lose all your progress. So, or you lose all your progress in that hum world. It's not like back to level 0. Yeah.
That would drive me nuts.
Yeah, there is an element of strategy there. But I like that there isn't sort of that linearity to it. You can sort of jump in and out of these various hubs around France and do missions at your own pace. The main thing is you got to take down these 3 brothers, as they call them, these 3 main towers where there's 3 main sub-bosses to get access to where your father is and like in this place called Lab X. So you can choose to just hit those mainline stories or just, side quests to your heart's content and tackle them when you like. So I like that there is that freedom there, but yeah, it's probably a 7 out of 10 if we're going to sort of chuck a number to it. Combat's great. Graphics are pretty cool. I really like the back and forth between the twin sisters. Like they're sort of from the south, like so they got this real sort of drawl to them, and some of the jokes and the back and forth and the banter they have is pretty hilarious. So sort of hearing these two young, sort of pseudo redneck daughters just getting in there, killing all these Nazis for the first time. Like, you killed your very first Nazi, and then Sophie just throws up everywhere, like, after it all and stuff. So it's kind of cool. There's this little added element of realism to how it probably would be in this situation when you go from just living on a farm to now killing a heap of Nazis. But, yeah, 7 out of 10. You can play it with a mate for free. But, yeah, it's good fun. Anyone likes shooters that are hankering for something to play in this sort of dead zone and you're not on Monster Hunter World or other games of that ilk, get on this.
Yeah, I've actually been hearing like a lot of kind of medium tone reviews on this game. So I was curious, like, what were some of the notes that like some of the people weren't hitting? I know one thing I was hearing, a lot of people said single player isn't as fun as playing multiplayer. So I hear that that's a high recommendation on making sure that you play with someone else. But, I mean, in the end, if you're just looking for dumb fun.
Yeah, like the story is very much secondary to everything else in the game. Like these types of games are known for the combat, the big guns, the big explosions, the big mutant-esque Nazi army that you're sort of constantly going up against. So that definitely is front and center. And there's a story to be had there, but I couldn't tell you the finer details of this, to be honest. Like, you talk to a few different characters and you've got a main sort of home base in the catacombs, and you go back and you talk to these various members of the resistance, but I couldn't tell you half their stories. You pick up that amount of detail throughout the time in the missions, collectibles and tape recordings and things, so you can flesh out that world a bit more, but I'm not too interested in that. I'm just interested in blowing Nazis to fuck.
Which is pretty much the underlining message of all Wolfenstein games. So that's good.
Pretty reasonably priced, only $49.99 or whatever it is AUD at the moment.
That's two Monster Hunter.
that's half a Monster Hunter world right now. Yeah. Do you know what else is very reasonably priced right now, Ali?
What?
If you go to Big W from today, you can pick up a copy of the Destiny 2 base game for guess how much?
$10.
Less.
$5.
Oh.
What was your number, Brendan?
$5.
Yeah, divide that by 5.
Oh, I know it was like, obviously they were bringing it out free, but I thought that got pushed for another month or two.
$1.
That's fine.
Is
That's
what
because
it's there for.
they'll probably want to be getting rid of their stock since they'll be, offering it for free.
Yeah.
$1.
Yeah.
It's on sale. It's on
that is
huge
still pretty
game sale
crazy.
at Big W. So go check out their website this week if you are interested in saving money. But yeah, and like GTA 5, which we'll talk about in a moment, is $29, which is the cheapest I've seen it ever.
That is a steal. I'll say that. That is a steal.
That's a goddamn steal.
And you know what? Probably all the Nintendo Switch games are all still $80 to $100.
A lot of Labo sales.
Ooh.
Yeah, mine's in the cupboard behind me there. I've made 2 of the 5 machines. No, 3 of the 5 machines.
Yeah. How was that? Better or worse
Very
than
long
the
undertakings.
Better or worse than the Lego Gyarados behind you?
That was fantastic, actually. I love that Gyarados. That's brilliant.
Okay. Cool.
You fuck off. All right, let's move into a bit of housekeeping, shall we? So this coming week, when you are listening to episode 162, if you wait another day or so, the second episode of Comedy Rewind will be available to digest into your ears. Joining Jono is myself and Benny, and we are going to be unpacking the 90s classic starring Jim Carrey, Jeff Daniels, Dumb and Dumber. This was an absolute hoot to record. I loved being on this pod and tickling those nostalgic memories and firing off all the one-liners, and it was really interesting to have pretty well identical opinions with both the guys on how this movie held up and some of the themes and whatever else. So it's well worth a listen. And Comedy Rewind is a cracker of a podcast. Dream, Cruzy, and Jono were on the debut episode, sort of covering Happy Gilmore.
Sure were.
Which was also a brilliant fucking listen, I must say. Like, the way Jono's got this show structured and the questions and just the back and forth with the hosts, it is podcast magic. So check out Comedy Rewind on all your podcast platforms. Dreamo, what did you think? You had a good time. I could hear the joy in your voice when you guys were talking, Gilmore.
Yeah, it was a very joyous occasion. It was good. It was a lot of fun. It was weird to watch Happy Gilmore after so long, and with a bit more of an adult lens on as well, I guess, like understanding everything that's going on in there, and yeah, it was good. It was a lot of fun. Turns out it's really violent. Happy Gilmore is a very, very violent film.
He's got some issues, man.
Yeah. He's
Literally
a bit
beats people up.
Yeah, and we sort of came to similar conclusions on Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber. Like, he's got some sort of homicidal tendencies. Most of his dream sequences end up with him wanting to kill somebody or shooting somebody or whatever else. Like, it's some shit. And obviously they murder a dude in a fucking truck stop with rat poison. So, yeah. 90s comedy. Comedy Rewind. Check it out.
The only thing I can think of in Dumb and Dumber, like the thing I always think of, is that last scene where the bus of all the women looking for like oil boys or something.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to Atlanta or somewhere. Yeah, that gag I think is the funniest thing in the whole.
Yeah,
whole
and then
lot.
he's like, "Do you realize what you've done?" And he runs and he's like, "The town is 3 miles back that way," or whatever it was instead. Like, yeah, bless. You know, little fact. You know, Jim Carrey got paid $7 million to do Dumb and Dumber. Guess how much Jeff Daniels got paid?
like $200,000.
$50,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
They lowballed him because they didn't want him in it. Because he didn't show any sort of comic, flexibility in acting back in them. So they just said, "We'll lowball him. He won't accept, and we'll get someone else." And he went, "You know what? I'm doing this." And he took it for 50.
But he wasn't any
Great.
big actor at that point, was he? He was a bit of an unknown, I thought.
He was in a few.
Yeah.
But I think it was mostly just pretty straight down the line type of performance, as opposed to that Jim Carrey insanity, which we know was peak 90s.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
94 especially. Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber, The Mask, all in 1 year.
Oh, the mask.
Jeez.
So anyway, when you're done checking that out, head on over to patreon.com/we're8bit if you can, and throw a couple of bucks behind us. If you can afford it, for as little as $1, you will be getting early access to the fortnightly podcast, the 8-Bit Cast, which is our conversational podcast with various members of the hashtag 8-Bit Collective and other members within the podcasting community as well. And if you want to donate a little bit more, you can get various perks such as exclusive merch, immortalized in the family portrait, as well as some other cool things such as giveaways. And while you're there, audiotechnica.com.au to get the best in audio-based equipment. We're talking headphones, microphones, turntables, gaming headsets, and everything else in between. Audiotechnica.com or audiotechnica.com.au. Now let's get into some news.
This week's news headlines.
In this first bit of news, Ninja ditches Twitch for Mixer in Microsoft exclusivity deal. And this comes via way of Matt Wales at Eurogamer. Tyler Ninja Blevins, one of the biggest and best-known Fortnite Twitch streamers in the world, has announced that he's leaving the streaming platform, having signed a deal with Microsoft to broadcast exclusively on its competing Mixer service. Blevins, a former Halo Pro player, has amassed over 14 million followers on Twitch, with many more on YouTube and other social media services, and Microsoft will clearly be hoping that a good chunk of them will make the jump to Mixer, which has struggled to compete against the likes of Twitch and YouTube, along with the star. The 28-year-old, who was revealed to earn around $500,000 USD a month last year, will also be attending game events in what appears to be something of a brand ambassador role for Microsoft streaming services. No other specifics of the deal have yet been divulged. So he debuted on Mixer this past weekend in conjunction with the Lollapalooza festival of all things. And his debut numbers, he had a peak of around 95 to 96,000 viewers on the stream. Wow. And then it averaged out to around 67,000, give or take, which is up from his 40,000 or so he's been averaging on Twitch the last 6 or so months. So obviously, there's that you sort of take that number as a grain of salt because it's new excitement. People are just keen to see what's going on over there. But what do you guys think of this from not only sort of a Mixer-only perspective, but if you look at this from like a broad stroke? Because I've got some ideas. But Ali, what's your thoughts on this?
I think it's good. I think after recent events that have been happening on Twitch where we've seen some favoritism to certain streamers, having one of their biggest streamer jump ship and go to the competitor should be a very interesting move to see what kind of repercussions come of that, and then who becomes the number one. How many viewers change site. I don't think they're going to lose viewers. They'll lose a certain chunk, but there's still going to be people who watched Ninja who's still going to watch people on Twitch. Competition's good. So I appreciate the competition that it will hopefully create. Hopefully more people will start, migrating over to Mixer, and Twitch will just have to watch themselves, I think, for once, instead of being the, big cheese head honcho.
Mm.
So
what about you, Dreamo?
Yeah, I think I agree with everything Ali just said.
Shit.
Think that I didn't ask you to go first because of that. No, and I surprisingly don't have anything incendiary to say right now. I do think I disagree that Twitch doesn't lose viewers from this. I think they will, because you can only watch one thing. Like if you assume people are only watching one thing at any given moment, not two or more, then if you're watching him, you're not on Twitch, and so that's not ideal for them. Even though you might come back after Ninja's done, and then go and watch someone else. You want someone watching Twitch constantly. I think that's their goal.
Yeah, I just don't think it's a mass exodus.
Yeah, I read that his rationale was that Mixer enables him to be more to have a more interactive community. It does things like it lets you share your controller with your chat, and there are other chat tools that just make it a more interactive experience. I think that's all fair, but probably it's the money that moved him across more than anything. Yeah. I do like that there is competition, and I do like that Microsoft's having a stab. I think it has, on average, 10% of what Twitch gets in terms of streaming views at any given time. So it's obviously the very, very, very distant second in the competition in the market at the moment. So to be able to do this, to be able to get Ninja across is obviously a pretty big win. And yeah, I am also interested to see what Twitch does in the next few weeks and months, particularly around, we'll call them the shitbags of the streaming platform, who just completely get a free pass on everything. I want to see how they're managed going forward, because I think that even though none of that has been commented on in anything we're reading about this big move, I think it's all still very connected. I think Twitch really has a big problem with its culture at the moment, and it needs to figure that shit out.
Yep.
I'm with you guys, especially as what you sort of touched on, Dream, there regarding the undisclosed sum that Microsoft probably held in front of Ninja to jump across. I've read and heard rumors, and obviously this is just hearsay, but it's anywhere from 40 to 50 mil or something like this.
What the fuck?
This exclusive contract that they've thrown at him.
That's incredible.
Obviously, yeah, grain of salt, but
huge.
I guess when he was earning $500,000 a month USD, it's probably not that far from truth. And looking at it from sort of a broader lens, it's kind of cool. Obviously Halo Pro player initially, so he's sort of gone full circle back to his roots, and I could see him being positioned as one of the faces, or the face of Microsoft, and with the new Halo that's going to launch on the new Xbox next year, being sort of one of the main drivers behind it. So I think it's very smart for Microsoft to sort of throw their sort of weight and support and money behind Ninja, because he's just about one of the biggest streamers and content creators in the world, and for the most part, he's got a pretty clean rap sheet compared to, someone like a Dr. Disrespect. So they are easy. He will be easier to market to that broader Microsoft audience. And you know what? We'll see him start to promote bloody Surface Pros and God knows what else. You'll see him pop up on just about everything related to Microsoft moving forward. So I can see it as a good little power play. Mixer don't have much market share, but I think we might see a little steady increase here. And no doubt they'll probably be poaching a few other streamers to come across. Maybe not of that similar ilk, but maybe some pretty decent sized mid tiers might get a little bit of a bit of compensation to jump across as well, and maybe build a little Ninja stream team and try and take some more market share back from Twitch, because I think it's right for the picking. As you said, Dream, that toxicity, seedy underbelly of Twitch is just something that lingers, where Microsoft and Mixer, they seem to be very much focused on family-friendly content. Here's our terms of service. Abide by them or get out of here type of thing. So, yeah, we'll see what happens over the next year or so. Will it be successful for Mixer? Who knows? But we know old Ninja, he's going to have some success out of this, like from a cash standpoint alone and opportunities. And something else we probably didn't think of as well is all the marketing, like his sponsors like Red Bull and things like that now. Like they were probably paying a premium to Twitch to advertise on that platform, and that'll probably most like shift across to Mixer as well. So Microsoft will probably make a bit of cash out of third-party brands to try and jump on board and get behind this too. So yeah, it's exciting.
It's going to be an interesting time because it's not going to be so simple as other people or other high-tier streamers on the Twitch platform can't just, dabble in Mixer, because there is this underlining thing that if you're a partner on Twitch, you actually can't stream on any other service. So it's not like anyone that would go over will sacrifice that partnership that they have, where that's how they get their money, their subs, their emotes and everything like that. So if anyone was to go over, it's going to be interesting because they've got, it's a risk. They lose their partnership on Twitch. So
yeah, but they'll take Ninja
like within
back.
an hour they took his tick away.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Actually, I called it crazy ex-girlfriend syndrome straight away. Just delete,
Yeah, but it's pretty crazy. Like Mixer at the moment are running a promotion where any accounts that jump on board with Mixer and sort of subscribe to Ninja's channel on there gets they'll provide 2 free months subscription to Ninja for jumping on board. So there's a huge incentive for some of these fans from Twitch to come across, because they're gonna get quote unquote $10 into Ninja's pocket through no outlay of their own. So it's very smart what Microsoft are doing with this. I think it's a nice strategic move, and I think it's got a high chance of paying off for them in the long run.
It's going to be interesting to watch. I look forward to it.
Yeah, something else that is interesting for probably all the wrong reasons to watch the past couple of days. E3 data breach leaks info for thousands of registered journalists. And this comes via way of Richard Lawler at Engadget. Thanks to a staggering bit of negligence on the part of the organisation that manages E3, the last and worst leak this year affects people from the media who covered the event. As pointed out on YouTube by Sophia Narwitz, a spreadsheet was available on the E3 website listing detailed contact information for over 2,000 journalists, content creators, analysts, and others who have applied for and received credentials to the event this year. The list apparently existed so that video game companies could reach news media and content creators they wanted to contact about said coverage, but it's obviously not intended to become publicly available. In a statement, the ESA said, in quotes, "Once notified, we immediately took steps to protect that data and shut down the site, which is no longer available. We regret this occurrence and have put measures in place to ensure it will not occur again." This is insane. Because it's not just like first name, last name. It's first name, last name, residential address, business address, contact phone number, email address, date of birth. Like it is the who's who of personal information that you got to give to E3 and ESA to do a media credential for the event. So
because it is such a big event, and obviously media passes are fleeting and all that sort of stuff, they also want to make sure that they have legitimate, journalists that are applying for media passes. So they ask for the full shebang, so that accountability on making sure that they have legitimate people. So that's
how do we get media passes then?
I just know what's up, all right?
Yeah.
I just know what's up.
Did you get leaked or whatever? Is there a Brendan White Queensland Sunshine Coast?
2019.
Yeah, I don't know if this was if they had previous data from previous years, but from all the reports that I've seen, it was just about the applications from this year. Mm-hmm. So I'm free of potential vetting or stalking for now, which is great. But it's insane because in the same breath as the smaller independents and even the larger IGNs, all the big time content creators that went there too, all their detail there, and we know that there is some fans out there of certain content creators that are a little obsessive and possessive and everything else. So it's scary.
Do you think
to
a lot
think
of
what could come of this?
More?
She's already tweeted about how does she get a lawsuit started.
Really?
Yeah, like I think ESA are going to get sued to high hell for this.
Oh boy.
Like
Yeah.
they are going to be on for some serious damages from this.
Well, the problem is that now a lot of journalists are already being targeted for doxing. So it's really bad and it's really negligent. Like it's not some little company here. It's E3. Like it's the biggest gaming event really of the year. So the fact that information was readily available and someone just found it.
Yeah, and it was like on the page just to click to download this damn thing. Like there was no sign up required. You didn't have to know a password. You just clicked and it downloaded this Excel spreadsheet straight to your computer.
Oof.
And then it was shared like through Reddit and stuff like that. Like no doubt you could Google it and you could find a copy of this right now and grab all those details and accost whoever you like. Like it's some scary shit.
Yeah. I mean, like the fact that it is like it was so accessible, and I know there's also some issues between journalists at the moment about this story breaking and how it was handled, but that's for them to kind of dish out because I feel like there's something else going on behind the works there. But yeah, the personal information of all the people and then a major lawsuit happening. There's a lot of banter now going on in Twitter where people are saying that like everyone deserves to sue them, but what happens to E3 then? Like if they get sued, what happens to E3? It's like, well, what happens to E3? Like, you know, sometimes people need to be, you know, accountable on what they've done. So if they get sued, I mean,
I'm with you. Like I think, you know, there needs to be a hefty punishment issued here to ESA on this because it's terrifying. Like, you know, lucky obviously we're not directly part of this, but like if this happened a few years ago, all my details would have been out there for the world to see and everyone else that went there. Like it's scary. Like privacy is such a rare commodity these days in this world with social media and everything else. Like there's this instant direct touch with people locally, globally, and whatever else. And to have that privacy being vulnerable through no fault of your own is really fucking scary.
Alana, I just went on Twitter. Alana Pierce is actually rallying everyone to get a lawsuit together. She's contacted her lawyers. It's funny how I thought of her immediately, Ali, and you already knew what was up.
She's a good representation of a very like down to earth chick in gaming, and kind of also she gets the high volume of haters and people that love her a little too much. So, you know, I knew that of all people that would probably really want to make sure someone pays for information going out, I know she would definitely be one of them.
Yeah. I also like that she sends the mothers of trolls the things trolls send her. That makes me giggle a lot.
I think that's great. Like I love seeing
great.
that kind of stuff. Like whether it be in games media, whether it be content creators, or whether it be just social media personalities in general. I like that they hunt down the husbands or the wives or the mothers of these people that are offending. Like, hey, you know, your partner or your son or your daughter, whoever it might have been, is sending some pretty vulgar shit to me.
Yeah.
Just a heads up. Like, I like that. I think that's great.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic.
I wonder what's going to happen. Like, we're going to see some kind of class action lawsuit on this. Like, I'm going to be watching the US Price is Right in a month's time, and there'll be one of those ads like, have you been hurt by the ESA? Do you suffer from this, that, the other? Well, you could be eligible for compensation. Call this number now. And,
love those ads, by the way. Love those ads.
You know the ads I'm talking about.
I know exactly. Being here only a few months, I know exactly what ads you're talking about.
But yeah, like this is something that's going to be a talking point for many, many months ahead, potentially years with the way these things play out. But yeah, it's scary. It is a scary time that one little oversight as simple as having access to that file, like, and the fact it was an Excel spreadsheet that had all this data on it.
Yeah, like to me,
where else would it be?
Well, you could have it like in some specific, I don't know, like a SimPro or something like that, like, you know, using Pronto or a CRM to keep all this data in it, but instead it was just
all of that
Excel
stuff
spreadsheet.
All of that stuff exports to CSV.
Yeah, but why would you have
that
that as the main downloadable attachment on a landing page on an E3 website?
That's the question. That's the
why wasn't
question.
it on an internal drive or something like that within a company, not on a bloody I don't know. It's baffling, granted, to say a lot of companies are double checking their shit right now. And it's going to be interesting to see how future events get handled, especially with like people handing out their details. They'll be reluctant to now.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope.
Mm-hmm.
But regarding a future event with a little bit more positivity attached to it, the Call of Duty Modern Warfare beta dates have been announced. Infinity Ward's reimagining on Modern Warfare is getting 2 rounds of beta in September, and your opportunity to play depends on what console you own. Each beta season includes an early access period reserved for players who pre-order the game, followed by a general open beta. Alright, so the first wave of beta, for people that have pre-ordered on the PlayStation 4, will get early access from September 12th through to 13th, with an open beta on PlayStation 4 only from September 14th through 16th. And then on the second wave, which will be opening up to PC, Xbox One, and the PS4 again, there is a early access from September 19 through to 20, and then an open beta for all on the 21st through to the 23rd of September. And something that is kind of cool about both these beta sessions, crossplay will be included between consoles and PC.
Oh.
So Xbox playing with PC, playing with PlayStation 4. I find that a little bit exciting, and I'm a Modern Warfare tragic. Does this tickle either of your respective pickles?
No. I can't remember the last time I got excited for a Call of Duty. I don't know. I've never wanted to pick it up. It's been a long time since I've wanted to pick up a Call of Duty, so I think I'll give this one a hard pass.
A hard pass. What about you, Dreamer? You going to jump on the beta and pwn some noobs with me like old times?
Possibly. Is all I'd say. I'm itching for a new first person shooter, but I don't know, COD. I know this will sound reductive, but every COD game feels like the same game to me, and I just don't feel the need to jump in on that anymore, I guess.
This is where it all started. We're going back to its origins when Modern Warfare
That's what they
recreated the FPS world.
That's what they want you to think, Brendan, but it's not the original. It's going to be
new and improved.
Yeah, is it? Is it? Or is it just almost
we'll find
a
out in a
reskin
month.
of the last one?
We'll find out in a month.
As long as it does that thing where you're waiting in the lobby and it lets both chats of the opposing team, it lets you all just yell at once. Do you remember when that was the lobby room? And it was just you all hurling abuse at each other. Good times.
Slippery slope, mate.
Where everyone's
so
mother was
jokes.
so popular.
Yeah, and the last bit of news, this is also some positive news. GTA 5 Online just had its biggest day ever, 6 years after launch. And this comes via way of Eddie McCooch at GameSpot. So Rockstar recently added a major new feature in the form of the new Diamond Casino update, giving GTA Online some of its biggest days ever. GTA Online recently broke its record for most players in a single day on July 23rd, and for the entire week after launch, which was July 23 through to 29. Developer Rockstar Games shared these numbers with The Hollywood Reporter. However, the always secretive company did not share specific numbers. In November 2015, GTA Online was averaging 8 million players per week. So the new figure related to the Diamond Casino update is at least known to be higher than that. GTA 5, meanwhile, has shipped a jaw-dropping 110 million copies worldwide, making it one of the most successful entertainment products in history. Miss Hart, did you jump in on this? Have you played any of the Diamond Casino?
I loaded it up. PlayStation broke. Yeah, PlayStation's dead now. I own it on I own it on PC. I've never loaded it up though, and I really don't want to start from the beginning again, but I might have to.
Yeah.
I like that this story is the one that's been highlighted, not the whole Rockstar not paying tax. Is that the story that also happened?
Yeah,
during the
that's
week?
some things too.
Yeah, but I also appreciate that they're like, yeah, record numbers. How many then? Oh,
It's just a record.
it's a record. Trust us.
8,000,001 players. I haven't played it, but like I was doing some editing last week and I was watching Rach play, and she bought the penthouse or a room up on the the top floor of this casino, and then she was playing some cards and some pokies and whatever else. And I can see the appeal. Like I love a good casino in video game or real world. Like mate, you get me on one of them tables or in front of the Pocos, and I'll be wasting money like I do in Elder Scrolls Online. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But I can see the appeal. Like it's polished. Like the building is great, and it's lived in, and it's live, and it's living at the moment with all these other players coming in and joining you on these poker tables or blackjack tables and things. So I can certainly see the appeal. Yeah, I've never really done any GTA Online at all. Dreamo,
Really?
is this something you might look at?
No. But not for any particular reason. I had my fill with gambling with Red Dead Redemption 2 with the poker there, and I wonder if this is almost a reaction to that. It probably isn't. They probably had this planned for a while, but I don't know. I got into GTA 5 online a little bit, and I had fun with heists, but all of this other stuff, all of these add-ons that just keep coming out, none of them move the needle for me. It just seems like more for the people who are so into this game already. It is incredible to me, though, that they have this number, like, of players, this imaginary number, this unknown number.
And 6 years after the game launched.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, GTA Online sort of rolled out a little bit after that initial launch, but the sheer volume
Fucking bedlam.
that this game has sold is astounding, and it's still always in the top 10 charts. Like, month after month, it's always in there.
They have an interesting problem, I think, in that the amount of things you can do in GTA 5 Online, for when GTA 6 inevitably releases, it won't have anywhere near as much to do as GTA 5. At least that's, after 5 years of development post-release, you'd assume that they just don't have it. So what happens? Do players sort of play GTA 6, or do they play GTA 5? It's a question for down the line, I guess, but
my guess is that they would actually have a change of environment. If there's one thing that you kind of get used to in GTA Online is that you pretty much know where everything fucking is after a bit, and it does become a bit just mundane. So hopefully, whenever 6 comes, because technically they don't really need it yet.
Ever.
Yeah,
they probably
ever.
don't need
Maybe
it,
they
ever.
won't even need us. Yeah, too busy, But GTA Online is tons of fun. I think it's good that they're consistently putting new content in and, putting a little bit extra in there for anyone that's still playing it. And yeah, I have yet to play them. I have to eventually play on PC, which has me nervous.
How long should a Steam refund take?
I've never done one before, so.
All right. Well, officially requested. And apparently I'm still not necessarily completely stuffed, even though it's been 3 hours and not 2. Apparently they're a little bit lenient, so we'll find out. We'll find out in the next episode of The Hungry Gamers.
Yeah, we got our fingers crossed for you, man. Hopefully you find some success there.
I'll seriously hold you to account, Brendan. If I download elsewhere, I want at least 40 hours of your time.
Oof.
Yeah? Over how long, though? Like,
Weeks.
not within the first, few weeks, obviously, but
What?
I can commit that between now and the next several months, yeah.
Okay, I can live with that. Because, I shouldn't be playing it every day.
Yeah.
I'll get too hooked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, all right, interesting. Ali, join us, please.
I do want to see his mansion.
It's
Yes.
pretty impressive. Maybe I'll save some video as I'm walking around there.
Elsewhere
next time I'm
cribs.
on. Yeah. There we go. You can check it out.
I wanna
I've got
see
a couple
what-
of dogs in there too. A couple of doggos.
I want to see what $60 gets you. $60
Do they have a
could
cold?
feasibly get you a physical dwelling for a night here in the real world.
Bullshit.
Maybe
not
not in Sydney.
You can get a A1 F1 motel room out in the Riff for $60,
No.
surely.
No, they went up. They're about 80.
Oh shit. Oh no, the world's going to burn. All right.
See, it's cheaper to live in elsewhere now.
Trust me, if you live out in the western suburbs of Sydney, you want to be elsewhere.
Oh, badum tush.
Do you think now is a super convenient time to become a mixer streamer? Like, do you think now's the right... If you don't stream at all, if you don't have anything to lose because you didn't become a Twitch streamer and you want to become a mixer streamer or you want to get into it, I would go to Mixer right now.
Oh, yeah.
Hell
if you're
yeah.
not partnered or affiliated.
if you're not partnered. But even if you're partnered or affiliated, everyone knows you've only got 30 people to watch you. You're not losing big numbers. Head on over. Give it a whirl. See what happens. Was that too cold?
No, it's on brand.
Yeah, it's on brand.
Okay.
And like that, listeners of the 8-Bit Nation, we want to thank you for stopping by for episode 162 of the Hungry Gamers podcast. It has been a bumper episode, full of ups and downs and rounds. But yes, anything you guys want to say before we close this off for another week?
I don't know. All I know is that we all have some kind of gaming addiction now where money's involved.
Yeah, we got some issues.
The Hungry Gamers got some issues.
Nothing from my end. I want to just give me a sec, actually. There is something from my end. Just one sec.
The camera's going to cut back on. He's going to be naked.
Oh, no.
Shout out to Tom's Thrifty Life on the grams. Thanks for the big ups on Monster Hunter World. And I'm sorry if you're listening that I'm now in the process of getting a sweet refund. But great chat, bro. Great chat.
Oh, no.
Yeah. That's what we do to you. Bring us a great game and we'll talk it up and then sell it off.
No, Tom is sweet, man. I posted something about it and Tom messaged me straight away. He's like, hey, that's awesome. It's a great game. What are you playing it on? Da-da-da-da. And it made me happier playing it that I knew that Tom was in my corner. Although Tom did say that it wasn't quite for him. He said it was good, but it wasn't quite for him. So, all right. Anyway, good chat.
Yeah. All right. This has been episode 162 of the Hungry Gamers podcast. Tune in next week for the world first episode 163. But until next week, 8-Bit Nation, much love.
Stay hungry.
You've been listening to The Hungry Gamers, one of many gaming and geek culture related podcasts from the 8-Bit Collective over on 8bit.net. Check out more episodes on your podcast service of choice. And while you're there, please be sure to rate and subscribe. Until next time, boys and girls, stay hungry.